from everyone's point of view. But this map here, Zergs generally don't like this map just because of how the third is connected to everything else, how close it is to everything else. And as I've heard it described by Zergs, it's basically a free third for Protoss because the ramp there is, maybe you should sort of swap to the main view so they know what I'm talking about.
Definitely. Well, maybe this was his map of choice, and by his I mean Saviour's, so maybe he's got some kind of plan made after this, or maybe he realizes his strengths might be in the macro game. But,
yeah.
I don't know, it just seems really odd after everything you've just said, which I have known to come and believe is true. Zergs just don't favour this map at all. Yeah, maybe you're just going to try and draw it into a massive game and tech up really heavily and put himself in a position where you'll see a nice, huge Broodlord Corruptor army.
If everyone looks here, those sort of crosshairs are actually where people can spawn with a few rules applied. But you can see there, if you look on the minimap now, that the third base is actually relatively close to the main and natural. So yeah, that's why Zerg really hate it, because you know there's a ramp to it as well, which makes it so easy to defend as TOS. And generally, as a Zerg player, they really like and want to be able to deny that third, at least to have the option of doing that. And oh my god, straight away, Saviour is actually going to go for a 7 pull here. We're going to see our first incredibly dirty cheese of the night, excluding that Proxy Marauder, and oh dear, it looks like Quantic LM is actually going to scout the complete wrong direction, so we'll be scouting this last, and is actually potentially going to go for Nexus first. We'll have to see what happens. He may actually go. Right, this is dirty as, and is going to work.
Yeah, especially with the way that the Overlord's going. Like, right now it's moving its way directly down, so he's going to get... If there's a lucky break ever in this game, this is the lucky break. You're doing a cheese, the only direction Overlord's going in is going to spot the opponent's base, and he's going to scout you last. Okay, no, he's actually making his way across the map. No, going up. Okay, yeah, he's going to scout you last, so that probe might get to his base just as the Lings get out. And then it's panic mode, and then it's, yeah, what's going to happen next? If he puts down a Forge first, he might be able to escape, which that's what it looks like he's going to be doing. Oh no.
Oh, I don't know. No, actually, I think it's going to be a 15 Nexus. Look at that probe. Oh, and as soon as Saviour sees this, he is going to be jumping for joy. Oh, wait, no? Okay. So he does put down a Forge first. And is this actually an all-in? Or is this going to be an economic 7 pull? We'll have to see. I mean, the firstlings are out now, and Quantic LM is actually still in trouble because he fully intends to just go Forge, then Nexus. He's actually not going to build a cannon first, but he's going to scout the main base of the Zerg. Will he scout it in time? The Lings are going to actually come down there before a cannon goes down. He sees the ball. Oh god, he should be in panic mode by now. Hasn't actually reacted at all. The Lings should run straight into the main base right now. Look, okay, there we go. A cannon straight in the main for Quantic LM. So he's actually going to be a little bit more prepared than anything. These probes actually very nice mineral walking there to try and stop the Zerglings from getting at the cannon. Oh my god, the drone drills. What? Oh god. It's so hard as a Zerg player to deal with this because your Zerglings initially are so very weak, but in this stage of the game, Protoss has enough probes to defend this kind of shit, and look at that, Quantic LM responding to that very, very well and very efficiently, putting the cannon down, defending it, and I do believe his plan of action from here is to go Gateway, Cybercore, build a few units, and then take an expansion of his own. And it looks like Saviour is actually gone straight back into macro mode, knowing that he's potentially done enough damage. He's denied an expansion even. Is actually going to be behind in workers, so it's not going to be as good as he would have wanted it to be. But yeah, he's just going to have to play this out very carefully.
I wouldn't even be surprised if he goes like one base Templar, like DTs after this. But wow, with the 2 extra proxy gates going up, this is going to make things very interesting. Saviour not actually paying attention. He doesn't have the vision in the map to see what's going on, so he might actually get a little bit greedy, thinking this is all that's happening right now in Quantic LM's base, and this I think it might come back to backstab him. This Overlord, I can't actually tell, but it's not going to make its way past these gateways in time, and he's going to have Zealots walking in on him. Both
Actually,
players
this is...
dishing out some hurt right now, but I honestly believe the Quantic LM is going to be the one to do the most damage. Gets rid of this extractor, but the moment that these zealots get into his base, he's going to have nothing. He's going to have a queen. The queen's going to try and run up the ramp. It's going to be very slow. It's going to get picked off. Yeah, he's just droning right now. He's adding on one spine crawler. That's going to be okay, but without any kind of link support, it's going to be nothing. Like, really nothing. And the first two zealots just about to make their way out. It was actually queued up more, so likely to go in with a 4 zealot hit squad, and this is going to throw Savior up.
Oh, well, look at that. He's actually... Has he got map hacks or something? He's actually feeling some sort of a... There's something wrong with the Force, man. He's actually putting down 3 spine crawlers, and that makes me feel a little bit safer for him right now. He's thinking, okay, there is potential for sort of proxy gateways here. I may as well put down some 3 sort of spine crawler defense, and thank God for that, because Savior would have absolutely died to this proxy gateway shenanigans here. And here we go. There's the Zealots coming in right now. Actually, they're targeting some links, so it's actually giving Savior a little bit more time, and the 3rd spine crawler does finish here. Will he try and just run straight into the main? Oh, it's not going to be enough because the spine crawler is dishing out way too much DPS, and oh, the Protoss player actually being deflected for now, but getting a few Zergling free kills here.
Yeah, fantastic. His read on the game was just superb. What I think happened was just leaving this Overlord here and realizing the lack of units or structures or anything else that's in the game kind of tipped him off that something else was happening along the map. And that must have been what forced him to get this reactionary state and build these panic spines, I suppose you could call them. Now he's adding on spore crawlers in the attempt, after seeing what I believe will be double gas in case of DTs. So Savior playing this game incredibly well right now. It's fantastic to watch. For anyone else that's taking notes right now, this is probably the place to do it. Tucking these zealots in here so they don't get the surround. Well, I suppose the Zerglings won't get the surround needed on these zealots, giving them the most efficient way to deal damage, but instead they're just going to run straight to the natural of what is essentially an undefeated natural of the Protoss. Quantic LM realizing this and sending these zealots in here as well. He's trying to make a full wall up, but it might not just be...
It's not going to hold, man. He's going to break through straight away. Oh, come on, take the pylon down. Yeah.
Oh, he's in. Oh, this Stalker.
And the infestation continues, well, begins, and he's absolutely going to destroy everything. He has more than enough lings to defuse these zealots for sure. Watch this surround. Oh my god, no. And yeah, wow, this is so bad for the Protoss right now. He's only got 3 gateways. He can only produce, well, 3 zealots he did. And he's microing very well, making a nice zealot wall there, trying his best. This pylon's going to go down, and the only thing it will unpower is the forward. But I do believe you don't have to have that power to put down cannons. The zealot's doing very well. The Zergling number's actually going down. And yeah, wow.
He's going to hold this, but at what cost? You know, essentially Savior right now can go take his 3rd if you're free to do so.
Yeah.
Unless there's going to be some kind of like real hardcore tech cheese coming out of Quantic LM, I think Saviour's going to be fine.
Essentially, I think Savior just bought himself so much droning time, like so much essential droning time, especially since like LM's sort of immediate goal right now is just to try and get that natural up and running. But yeah, Savior so far ahead right now. It's really good to see.
Now adding on an additional gateways, you can probably realize these proxy racks are going to get absolutely destroyed. Still no speed yet, so all the gas that he's been saving is going into what exactly? Oh, this might be.
I would call something. I would say he's probably going to do a massive tech switch into muters, and then my second sort of vote there would probably be Infestors, but the amount of gas he's banking right now, I'm willing to bet... Mutalisk.
I was looking at the wrong player. It's actually the Protoss that has the gas. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, what the hell is the Protoss going to do with that kind of gas? You think some kind of, like, massive 2-base Zealot Archon?
Oh, lol? Okay, well, right, let's recalibrate the brains here. Yeah, that is an insane amount of gas, and he's actually getting more. I really don't know what his plan is here. He hasn't put down any tech. I think maybe that he's sort of just derping. Like, I know that's sort of a weird thing to say, but I think he is actually derping. He's sort of got a lot of gas. He hasn't really put down any kind of Twilight Council. And yeah, I mean, I think his only choice here is sort of just to go pure Archon if he wants to spend that surplus of gas, because otherwise it's doing nothing. And yeah, it's just really silly.
He's actually trying to go take a fourth right now. Like, this is insane. Now building his first couple of sentries out of the gateways he has left, but he got rid of this destructible rocks, and he's going to get up here and get denied, obviously, by force fields, but he's going to be able to see the fact that there is actually a Nexus building.
Oh, there's a leak in the force field!
Oh, no! These Zerglings now actually getting the ability to run back around. Here we go, look, they're getting a force field. He's trying to use the sentries as a blocking mechanism, but it's just not enough. Speech just kicked in. Now he's back in another world of hate and hurt.
Oh, bro, Zerg player doing an amazing job there. Actually, sort of Quantic LM's fault that the Zerg player is getting such a lead here now. Not that he didn't have one before, but he's just getting even further and further ahead. There we go, finally! Okay, Templar Archive's going down right now, so it is going to be potentially just sort of a massive Archon push, because that's all he can really do at this point. I mean, he could try and go for some sort of sneaky DTs. Oh my god, look at those Zerglings. But yeah, like, he's just in an unwinnable position. Unless he takes a risk, or just sort of, I guess, sort of turtles on two base and tries to just go for a massive sort of maxed push with like as many upgrades as he possibly can get, he's going to lose.
Yeah, and with +1 and upgrades now finishing up for Savior, his army is going to be so much more painful and more durable than what Quantic LM's is going to be. First Archon now morphing, he does come in here and spot the third of Quantic LM going up again. He's not going to be able to save this. He's actually going to have to cancel it. There we go. Just cancelling it at the right time is pretty amazing. He does see the first Archon, so it is a huge tip-off on the tech tree that is what Quantic will ultimately be Quantic LM's unit makeup, unit composition. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Fantastic. Yeah, he's
for a second there. Look at that. Infested Pit before Spire. So that's an interesting kind of choice, but I guess he just kind of wants the Spire just for teching to Broodlords later on, because as we can see here, he's already got some Infestors out, which is very nice. Infestors are amazing. And he's actually going to come into the third and deny the non-existing third here. Looks like he's going to Fungal Growth. No! Oh no! The Infestor's derped! And one got sniped straight away. Two Fungal Growths having to go down. But oh my god, doesn't even matter. There's just nothing here for the Protoss. He's actually sort of...
not the best place to be engaging against Archons, but there's just too much.
Yeah, I mean, engagement-wise, it's the worst engagement for Zerg, but Zerg just has so much, and Protoss has so little. I mean, he's trying to get gateways up, and he has a huge bank. Protoss actually playing not really all that well. He's been holding on all right, and okay, yeah, there we go. Some pylons going down there. Come on, do some massive warpins. There we go. So a couple more Archons going to come out now. 3 being morphed in right now. Man, I'm hurting for the Protoss, man. He's in a weird position.
He does have 10.
Sorry, you go.
It's so good. He does have 10 gates, so he does have the ability to build a lot of zealots, but I don't know, yeah, he's in a really, really awkward position. He's going to try to take his third for the 4th time now.
It's the awkward push from him. He's actually pushing out. He hasn't got a probe with him. What on earth does he think he's going to try and do with this?
I don't know.
This is like so weird.
A scare tactic, but a Zerg that's on 4 base has a huge spine crawler wall, has infestors, and has just drones coming out. Like, these are like mana spine crawlers I see right now. He's getting fungled right in the... oh man. Look at that. Spine crawlers just poking away at Archons. That's just a weird thing to look at. His creep has been exceptional considering the amount of pressure that was put on him early game and the opening that he did. But yeah, this kind of was like, I don't know whether it was a push to kind of go out and force out some units or whether it was a push to go out and die. Just donate units to like the buffet of what will essentially be the Zerg meat grinder.
Either way, in whichever situation he's trying, like whichever sort of outcome he's looking for, it's kind of lose-lose. Because, you know, if you sit back and turtle, at least, you know, like if you go out there and force units, it's like, oh shit, those are now units he can now come and attack me with. He's actually, because he's been so far ahead the entire game. Like, why would you try and force him to make more units? It seems kind of silly. But look at this, an assault on the front. Are we going to see a massive amount of Infested Terrans? I sure as hell want to see some Infested Terrans. There's just so many roaches here, and I'm not sure how well they're going to do, but Zealot's actually ripping through them quite well. What are the upgrades here? +2 for the Zealots actually, and 0-0 for the Roaches, so never mind. These Zealots are actually going to shred through the Roaches. Zealots are actually quite good against Roaches one-on-one, but usually Roaches are sort of microed a little bit more than that, and, you know, can sort of take on Zealots really well, but no, like with an upgrade deficit like that, the Zealot's just going to rip through. And what is the Zerg doing? He's already at Greater Spire with a second Spire for those upgrades. Man, the Zerg player is in just such a commanding position. Like I said, man, Protoss